This week on ANN, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency has a new president.
A powerful earthquake hits Pakistan.
And the Seventh-day Adventist Church's Executive Committee starts its 2019 Annual Council.
These stories and more coming up.
Thank you so much for joining us this week.
First in the news, President of the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, Jonathan Duffy, has stepped down from his role due to personal reasons.
ADRA Board Vice Chair and General Vice President of the Seventh-day Adventist World Church, Ella Simmons, said in a statement, the ADRA Board has accepted Jonathan's resignation and expresses appreciation for his service. Jonathan served as president of ADRA since his election in 2013. He has led the network of more than 130 offices to adopt a new strategic framework that allowed ADRA to align with changing trends in the development and humanitarian sector.
To ensure ADRA continues to progress and advance towards its goals, Michael Kruger, current Vice President of Finance, has been appointed as interim president. Kruger steps into the role with more than 30 years of experience in senior management in both the commercial and nonprofit sectors.
A powerful 5.8 magnitude earthquake jolted several districts in Pakistan. Reports estimate that there have been 37 deaths and more than 700 are injured. Officials say that the two most affected districts are Mirpur and Jhelum. Government rescue efforts are underway but have been delayed due to badly damaged roads and vehicle accidents. It is estimated that more than 90,000 people have been impacted by the earthquake and tremors. The epicenter was located near the mountainous city of Jhelum in eastern Punjab province, according to meteorology experts. ADRA in Pakistan has deployed a team to assess damages in the affected area and are coordinating with local authorities in Mirpur and Jhelum to provide assistance. Acting Country Director for ADRA Pakistan, Brendan Irvine, says, the immediate needs we've identified so far are shelter for families. Many homes were damaged, and there is also great need for clean drinking water and food. ADRA has been able to provide 80 tents as temporary shelters that can accommodate up to 7 people. The team has also been working to coordinate food distribution that will feed nearly 400 families. Meal portions are estimated to last the family up to 10 days. The last reported earthquake to strike Pakistan occurred in 2005 and measured a 7.6 magnitude, killing thousands of people.
Beginning October 10, we kick off the 2019 Annual Council. As we reported last week, Annual Council is one of 2 yearly meetings of the Seventh-day Adventist Church's Executive Committee. The Executive Committee is the second highest governing body of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's only second to the delegates of the General Conference session, which takes place every 5 years. During Annual Council, members of the committee, commonly referred to as delegates, vote on policies and reports that are necessary for the operation of the church. Just prior to the start of the Annual Council, church leaders participated in the General Conference Health Fair, which partners with the Adventist Medical Evangelism Network, or AMEN. The health clinic aims to serve and connect the Adventist Church with the community around the world headquarters in the U.S. state of Maryland. This year, volunteers served hundreds of people with free dental care, vision, and medical services. Attendees were also able to get massages, flu shots, haircuts, and winter coats. We'll be back in a week or so with more details about this special event.
On October 10th, the General Conference Executive Committee will attend this year's LEAD Conference, or the Leadership, Education, and Development Conference. This year, the conference will be organized by the Seventh-day Adventist World Church's Youth Department, led by Director Gary Blanchard. The Youth Ministries Department will present devotionals, special music, and interviews with young people who are making a difference in their communities. Don't forget to follow the General Conference Youth Department on Facebook at facebook.com/GC Youth Ministries for more information. You can also follow us on Twitter at Adventist News for updates during the presentations. We'll be back next week with more detailed report.
Seventh-day Adventists from the Shiloh Adventist Church in St. Thomas recently spent the day ministering to their community. The church members provided spiritual support, health and wellness services, school supplies, and personal items to dozens in the surrounding community of Anna's Retreat. Church elder and personal ministries director for the Shiloh Adventist Church, Candace Spav, said, "This is part of a national initiative to minister to the social needs of the community in a more significant way because the Adventist Church is not just about the spiritual. We cater to all needs, including education and health. It's a way to reach the community and to engage members in embracing evangelistic opportunities. SPAV was pleased to see how comfortable people from the community felt during the community impact. The church conducted health screenings and distributed over 200 bags of school supplies and water to scores of families with school-age children. Shiloh pastor Noel James explained that it took every member's involvement in the day's event to make it a success. James said the neighbor-to-neighbor activity is part of the church's recent strategic initiative to connect better with the needs of the community. In July, the church distributed water and tracts along with clothing and other supplies donated by a local charity organization in 2 different sites in the community. Plans are underway to impact the neighborhood with a Day of Kindness next month when health screenings, clothing distribution, hot soup, and water will be offered.
Hundreds of individuals from the Andrews University community gathered in front of the new Andreas Center for Wellness for the ribbon-cutting ceremony that took place on Thursday, September 26. President of Andrews University, Andrea Luxon, said at the event, "This is about a building that we hope will bring everyone together, both those on campus and the community. As people work out together and talk together, we really hope this will be a place that will further link Andrews University both with itself and its wider community." Luxon encouraged those in attendance to take a copy of the gift book Rest and Redemption by Niels Erik Andreasen, published as a special edition by the Andrews University Press. It is the vision of the new Andreasen Center for Wellness to provide a place where members can live wholly, intentionally explore concepts of wellness, learn deeply, and purposefully engage the campus, local, and global community together in living healthful lives, connecting body, mind, and spirit. The center features both a wellness club and a recreation center. All Andrews University students will have access to both spaces and programming, while all Andrews University employees, family members, and community members who choose to become members will have full access for the Wellness Club. To learn more about the center, please visit andrews.edu/wellness center.
Nearly 60 participants at the Nordic Adventist Communication Academy headed to Vejlefjord Adventist Junior College in Denmark from September 27 through 29.
Digital communication of the gospel was a strong focus, along with how to make sure our friends outside of the Adventist Church understand what we are trying to say.
Communication Director of the Trans-European Division, Victor Holbert, sent this report.
Welcome to the Adventist Communication Academy that is covering principally Denmark, but we have people here also from Sweden, from Norway, from Finland, meeting at Vejlefjord School and the Adventist Church here in Denmark. We have about 50 people gathered together, some of them expert communicators, passionate for Jesus, others that are coming because they're interested to learn skills and techniques that will help them share the good news better. Some are interested particularly in video, others experts on the internet, and others still are interested in print media. Some are interested in all of them, but together there is one common interest and purpose: to learn and network, to share Jesus in this part of Europe.
A social media expert showed how analytical tools help communicators monitor how their content is received.
The results of these tools shows us that very clearly the video part of the work, when we make interactive content for our viewers, that is where we get the spikes that we want. And also we can correlate very specifically the amount of content that we make to the amount of success that we have in reaching people and getting new likes and getting new followers and actually subscribing people to furtherly hear our message.
This is the second year that the Danish Union has organized a media and communication training event. And we found it incredibly positive and beneficial for our church members to meet together with like-minded, to share ideas, to be inspired, and to listen to what is going on in the church. And suddenly we're realizing a lot of things are happening. We are cooperating together, and we are seeing new possibilities for working even stronger together in the future.
Coming up, prisoners are baptized in Papua New Guinea.
But up next, the president of the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division and division leaders visit with the president of Angola.
We may look, pray, read, think, worship, sing, and share differently, but we all look forward to the Sabbath. And we all look forward to the future when Jesus will come again. With this message in mind, we arrived at a core component for a new identity system: the creation grid. Regardless of what or where you are designing, you can always find information to help you communicate that we are all Seventh-day Adventists.
Welcome back.
Recently, the president of the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division and division leaders sat down with the president of Angola to thank him for the religious liberty enjoyed in the country.
Communication Director for the region, Noel Simbada, sent this report.
The special message was delivered by the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division President, Dr. Solomon Maposa, at State House in Luanda in Angola on behalf of our world leader, Elder Ted Wilson. The message was to thank the government of Angola for the freedom of worship that the church so much enjoys, and also the crucial role the government played in the release of our pastors who were wrongly implicated. The delegates were received by the State Minister in the President's office, Dr. Carolina, who acknowledged the work being done by the Adventist Church in Angola and pledged to continue to work hand in glove with the church in the areas of social responsibility.
As a government, we are happy with the cordial relations we have with the churches in Angola, and we are equally pleased the SDA Church is interested in social responsibility for their communities in the fields of health and education.
Dr. Maposa expressed the church's gratitude to the government of Angola's judicial system and the cordial relations that exist between the church and the government.
As you know, that we had our pastors here who were wrongfully accused, and justice prevailed because we have good leadership in Angola. So we had come to express appreciation to His Excellency, the State President, and we were received very well. And
for us, the government is good because we are given time to talk to them, and also we have been in touch with them in our projects, education, what the youth do, and the liberty of religions. So far, it's great, it's amazing. Thank you so much.
If all goes well, Elder Wilson will visit Angola in February next year to meet the country's president. As a result of the good relations that exist between the government and the church, the Angolan government donated 4 brand new tractors and plows to the 2 unions in Angola to boost food security.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church was allocated 4 tractors to help in preparing land for agriculture.
From State House, Dr. Maposa, accompanied by the 3 officers from the Northeast Angola Union, joined the 500 young women outside the city. Far from the madding crowd, dozens of colorful tents could be seen scattered in the bush, housing young ladies who were attending the first ever camp meeting, and their mission was to be empowered and to be equipped for evangelism.
As young women, we must take our position in spreading the 3 angels message so that Jesus can come sooner.
I learned a lot of things during this camp meeting, and I'm going to share with my church members and friends back home about how to evangelize to others.
What I'm taking back home to my friends is that us as young people, we can minister to others about Jesus' love and care.
I came here because I was invited by a friend, and I must say the camp meeting was nice, and I've learned a lot about love and respect and how we can be good stewards of God's resources.
Among the attendees were non-Adventist young women who were invited by their friends who were also honored during this camp meeting.
I've learned about trust and respect for my body and how to care for others.
As a leader of the women's ministries, we came up with this camp meeting to equip and empower our young people regarding evangelism, and we had over 500 young women attending.
With an army of youth like this one, I am convinced that the work of the Lord will be finished in this generation. If all of them tell their friends, if all of them at least bring 1 soul to the church, surely mission will be accomplished in this great union.
As the camp meeting came to an end, the women burst into songs of jubilation, a sign that indeed they are ready for missions. As the night falls, signifying the end of yet another day, for these young women, it is the beginning of a new day as they embark on total member involvement. For the Adventist News Network, I'm Noel Spanda reporting from Angola.
A week-long revival meeting at Buima Prison Camp in Lae, Papua New Guinea saw 24 candidates baptized. Glenn Kintao and his elder, Freddie Guba, with assistance from another minister, Dinley Terato, conducted the revival meeting inside the prison camp. Kintao's messages to both low and high-risk prisoners were about God's special day, Sabbath, and baptism, while Terato preached on identity with his talk entitled, Who Am I? Morobe Mission General Secretary Samuel Mullen and Mission Family Life and Sabbath School Director Kennedy Way baptized the 24 candidates just outside the prison camp. One of the baptismal candidates was released from prison the day he was baptized. He later said that he will never forget the experience. After the baptism, the church family provided lunch for the prisoners and the duty wardens.
And finally in the news today, we are very sad because we have to say goodbye to our friend and colleague. Ian has been with ANN for a very long time, and he will be greatly missed. Ian, we wish you well as you start the next chapter of your life, and we ask God's richest blessings on you and your family. You are welcome back anytime. And in honor of Ian's last day, we put together this short video.
Yeah, I've been anchoring for about 2.5 years, and over the course of the time, of course, with everything it improves. There's better writing, I believe. This is ANN, a service of the Seventh-day Adventist World Church. Thanks so much for joining us this week. I like the stories that have kids, the ones that have creative service projects, the ones that have people doing things that aren't normal to share their love for Christ. Anyway, yeah. Well, I really enjoy anchoring with Yvette. She is full of fun, and when the camera, well, I shouldn't say when the camera stops, but when the published part of the camera stops, she is very bubbly, has a lot of laughs with us, and so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're on center.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Nana, I don't know what this says.
Tapachula.
Ah, it sounds so wonderful coming from you. And will be broadcast on Facebook Live. I'm not really sure why that's the funniest thing I've ever said.
Welcome back.
Thanks for joining us this week. I had no idea what I was supposed to say. I was just like, we need pens. Is it okay if we don't have them? I mean,
oh, you need something.
Hey, fresh out of the bag. Wow. It's it. This is it. This is great. This is it. Oh man, that was great. That was great.
Gosh.
That was so great.
That was bad.
Coming up, Emily Mastrapa is here to tell you how you can keep up with all the annual council highlights.
But up next, a clinic in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is meeting people's physical and spiritual needs.
May I work in with you, young fella?
Yeah. Go for it.
That's the way you do it. Got to put a little weight on it. But I'll put it back up here for you.
Welcome back.
The Kinshasa Adventist Clinic aims to meet the needs of people in the community by using Christ's method.
The clinic meets physical needs with a team of doctors and nurses, while staff assesses patients' spiritual needs.
Adventist Mission has more.
Each day at work, Badi Banga makes sure the Kinshasa Adventist Clinic is kept safe. He works as a security guard for this compound in the Democratic Republic of Congo's capital city. When he started working here, he didn't know much about Adventist beliefs, except what he heard coming from the church also located on the compound as they held evening meetings throughout the week. A few years ago, the clinic staff started a small church plant. Many members are former patients, doctors who came to know Jesus at the clinic, and people from the community. On Sabbath, the church is full of praise and worship through testimonies and music. The choir writes and performs original songs. One day, the church pastor invited Badibanga to attend an upcoming campaign. So Badibanga decided to see what it was all about. After the meetings, his mind was overwhelmed with information. He was motivated to study the Bible further, and before long, Badibanga accepted the Adventist message and invited Jesus into his heart.
For me, the difference in my life is that I'm able to pray and see the answers from God. So that's something that has changed in my life.
The Kinshasa Adventist Clinic aims to meet the needs of people in the community through Christ's method. The clinic meets physical needs with a team of doctors and nurses, while staff assess patients' spiritual needs. People come to this clinic with a number of symptoms and illnesses, ranging from malaria to pregnancy complications. Frank and Nikki rushed into the clinic when Nikki was bleeding for unknown reasons. The expectant parents knew their baby wasn't due yet. Doctors and nurses tried everything, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong. The medical staff gathered around Nikki and prayed for the Holy Spirit's intervention. Right after the prayer, one of the doctors was able to detect the problem and rushed her to surgery. But because of a lack of equipment, they began surgery without anesthesia. They had to sterilize the instruments with rubbing alcohol in a small flame. Unfortunately, they lost the baby during surgery and almost lost Nikki too. It was a miracle that she survived the incident. Doctors prayed over her again and were certain that she would get an infection in the coming weeks. But after 10 days, there was no sign of infection and Nikki made a fast recovery.
As I'm living today, I'm thankful to God because He assisted me. He came to secure me. I did not think that I would be able to talk to people about my story.
The impact of this event changed their lives. Frank and Nikki are now Adventist members and attend the church on the clinic's compound every week. If the clinic had the proper equipment, it's possible the baby could have survived too. The staff is qualified to provide top-quality service, but unfortunately they need instruments, beds, and general materials to vastly improve the services they provide, especially for expectant mothers.
I am asking to make a call to the World Church. I want to tell them that this clinic needs their help in terms of equipment. We need a lot of help. And if we can have the equipment required in this clinic, we will be the best clinic in Kinshasa.
Doctors, nurses, and the staff at the Kinshasa Adventist Clinic pray for the Lord to use them to further His mission. This quarter, a portion of your 13th Sabbath offering will help expand and improve the clinic's health services here in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Please pray and consider how you can contribute to this cause. Thank you for supporting the 13th Sabbath offering.
Watch this and other mission stories online by visiting AdventistMission.org, then click on Videos at the top.
As we've mentioned, annual council begins here at the General Conference this week.
Emily Mastrapa is here to share how you can stay up to date on all the big decisions.
As you've heard, the annual council of the General Conference Executive Committee is coming up. The General Conference Executive Committee is the second highest governing body of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, after a General Conference session. In between sessions, the Executive Committee has the power to appoint committees, elect and remove officers, directors, and associate directors of departments, associations, and services, and effect the retirement of an elected or appointed position. Annual council will be held here at the General Conference in Silver Spring, Maryland from October 10 to 16. The Leadership, Education, and Development, or LEAD Conference, will take place Thursday, October 10 through Sabbath, October 12, and the business sessions will begin on Sunday, October 13 at 8 a.m. and will conclude at 12 p.m. on the afternoon of October 16. You can find the schedule for annual council at executivecommittee.adventist.org/schedule. You'll be able to watch the meetings live at live.adventist.org. We will also be tweeting and posting on Facebook throughout the days, So don't forget to follow us. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Adventist News. Stay up to date with what's going on, and you can join in on the conversation by using the hashtag GCAC19.
And finally, for today's episode, let's turn to David Trim for a look at Adventist history.
Welcome to This Week in Seventh-day Adventist History. On October 8, 1882, Charles B. Sutton, pioneer missionary to Central America, was born in Kansas. Charles was a leader in publishing ministries in the U.S. Midwest for 16 years. In 1911, Charles married Dorothy Wilson, known to everyone as Dottie. You see them here in their wedding photo. In 1918, Charles, Dottie, and their daughter Eleanor went as missionaries to the Caribbean island of Trinidad. Tragically, Dorothy contracted influenza on the voyage from New Orleans and was buried the day after they landed at Port of Spain. Everyone expected Charles to return to the States with his small daughter, but he wrote to a sister, "God called me to Trinidad, and I am going to stay." 2 years later, he was remarried to a Trinidadian woman, Christina de Silva. She was 21 while Charles was 38, but their marriage was happy and lasted 44 years until his death in May 1964. Christina outlived him by 22 years, dying in 1986, aged 86. Charles Sutton spent 42 years as a missionary to Central America, laying the foundations for the extraordinary church growth there in the last 50 years. And on October 9, in 1974, Svend Åge Broberg died in Randers, Denmark, aged 78. After spending several years as a pastor and young people's leader in his native Denmark, Broberg was called to similar responsibilities in the Scandinavian Union. In 1934, he and his wife Lorette accepted a call to serve as missionaries to Sierra Leone, and they worked there for 6 years in very difficult conditions. Unable to return home due to World War II, from 1941 to 46, Svend pastored churches in the U.S. state of Washington. With the war over, the Brobergs returned home, and Svend was for 5 years president of the East Denmark Conference, before returning to Africa, this time east rather than west. Svend Broberg was president of the Ethiopian Union for 5 years. In 1956, he and Lorette returned permanently to Denmark, where he pastored a number of churches before retiring. And that was This Week in Adventist History.
Thanks for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We'd love to hear from you, so send us your feedback and tell us how your church is making a difference in its community.
Be sure to capture plenty of video footage and photos, then write up a summary of the event's important details, and feel free to send full video reports as well.
You can reach us by sending an email to annvideo11@gmail.com.
Before we say goodbye, here's some good news from the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8.
The passage says, "He has told each of you what is good, and what it is the Lord requires of you, to act justly, to love faithfulness, and to walk humbly with your God."
That's our program for this week, and remember you can always visit news.adventist.org for daily news and videos. Until next time, God bless.
Take care.